Let me teach you the house routine. First, we have a look at the structure of this routine. We got 4 parts. Part 1, the cue scratch. Part 2, the pad play. Part 3, mix in the loop. And part 4, the cue scratch. Each part has 8 bars. The routine starts with a short intro that has 4 bars. As a reference regarding the part number, there's an indicator on the upper left corner on the screen of the routine video. There's also a metronome that counts the bars. This will help you to understand the structure of the routine. Next, let's have a look at the audio file that we are using for this performance. I got the same song loaded on both sides, so you will only need one song for this routine. Let me show you each single cue point. On cue point 1, we got the instrumental. This will be running through the whole routine. On the cue points 2, 3 and 4, we got the samples for the scratch part, which sound like this. Yo! On cue points 5, 6 and 7, we got the melody samples for the pad play part. On cue point number 8, we got the loop that we will mix on the instrumental in part 3 of the routine. When you are scratching with your left hand, you will start the instrumental on the right side. I'm scratching with my right hand, so I will start the instrumental on the left side. The initial position looks like this. The song is loaded on both sides and I press cue point 1 on the left side and let it play. We start the routine with the instrumental on cue point number 1.
Are you ready?
After the intro, you have to start with part 1 of the routine, and this is the scratching part. For part number 1, we will use cue point number 2, 3 and 4. We will scratch cue point number 2 for 1 bar, cue point 3 for 1 bar, cue point 4 for 1 bar, and then we will let cue point 4 play for another bar.
This is how we party.
So it looks like this.
Yo! This is how we party.
Cue point 2 for 1 bar, cue point 3 for 1 bar, cue point 4 for 1 bar, and you will let cue point 4 play for another bar. Remember, 4 beats are 1 bar. So in total, these are 4 bars. Let me do these 4 bars a cappella one more time.
Yo! This is how we party.
After you are finished with the first 4 bars, you will repeat everything again. Let me show you the whole scratching part a cappella one more time.
Yo! This is how we party. Yo!
Put the fader to the left side. The second time you will not let cue point 4 play. That's very important. The reason for this is that we need this little gap at the end to prepare for the upcoming part 2, which is the pad play. And that's why we have to leave the last bar for the scratching part empty. Let's see how that sounds over the beat.
Are you ready? Yo! This is how we party.
The scratching technique that you are using for this part is completely up to you. Until now, you should be able to perform baby and forward scratches, and you can also try the military combo. Just keep it clean and make sure that your timing is on point. You can keep it very simple with a baby scratch like this.
Are you ready? Yo! This is how we party.
Most important thing is the timing. You have to play cue point 2 for 1 bar, cue point 3 for 1 bar, cue point 4 for 1 bar and let it play. Then again cue point 2 for 1 bar, cue point 3 for 1 bar, cue point 4 for 1 bar, and put the fader to the left side. And then you will hear the vocal make some noise. And this is the moment when we start the second part. Part number 2 is the pad play part. Let's have a look at part 2. Let me show you the melody without the instrumental first. You play the pads in this order. It's 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6. I do it very slow for you one more time. And then we end this part. Let me show you this part over the instrumental.
Make some noise! Let's go!
Remember, the total length of the part is 8 bars again, but you will only play it for 7 bars because the last bar will be the vocal on the left side. You can hear the part ends with the vocal "let's go", so you always have like a reminder to switch over to the next part. And this will be part 3, mixing in the loop. Right after the pad play, we have to mix in the loop. Actually, the only thing that you need to do in part 3 is bring in the loop on the 1 of the instrumental. You will play the loop from cue point number 8. The loop will be running for 4 bars and then you have to bring it in again and push cue point number 8 one more time. Let's do this over the instrumental.
Let's go!
And one more time.
Make some noise!
You need to line up the beats in case your timing was not perfect. Therefore, you can nudge the side of the jog wheel like we learned before in our beat match course earlier. The total running time of part 3 will be 8 bars. That means 2 times 4 bars of the loop. When the loop is playing, you have a little extra time. Use this moment to interact with the camera, use the filter effect, or you can pump in the instrumental on the left side with the line fader like this. Hit it on every kick and every snare. You will let the loop play only for 7 bars, and on the last bar you will put the fader again to the left side. Listen to the vocal, make some noise.
Let's go!
One more time. Now listen for the vocal.
Make some noise!
Let's talk about the end of part 3, because the last bar is very important. When you hear this vocal make some noise, you have to put the fader on the left side and be ready for the scratching part on the right side again. Let me show you the transition for the scratching part one more time.
Go!
One more time. Put the fader to the left side.
Make some noise!
So after the 8 bars of part 3 are finished, we will start with part 4. And this will be the scratching part again. Now you can repeat what you did in part 1 or you can switch it up. At this point you can be creative. But always make sure to stay in the correct timing and keep the rhythm.
Make some noise! Yo! This is how we party. Yo! 1, 2, 3, 4.
After 8 bars, this part will end and the routine is finished. That's it. You can watch the beginning of this video again to see the whole routine in total. I wish you good luck in learning this performance. We are looking forward to see your video recording.